So this is a quick example on how to add emotions, events, and emotions, marriages, and events. So I'm going to start up the app. You can add a new case by hitting the new button. It'll pop up here. Got a blank case. It's set to today. Is that today? Yeah, it is. So when you have a blank diagram, the events, the timeline over here is going to be empty except for this default now event, which is always, which is there. You can't delete it, and it's always set to today, no matter what. The system does that. These buttons won't do anything yet until we have more events here. So to do that, we're going to add a couple of people, add a male. So you just click once on the button, click once anywhere, and it adds the person there. And then to marry them, or at least give them a kid, I guess. So you hold down the mouse button on one person, drag over to the other person, and let go of the mouse button. So it's a dragging motion, so you're not just clicking like you were when you're adding people. The same thing goes with emotions. Well, first off, with adding a child, you're going to start it on the child, start the drag on the child, and then drag up to the marriage, and then let go, and then it sets them as the child. So the same thing for emotions. If you're going to go to this conflict symbol, you're going to start on one person, and then with the button down, you're going to drag, and then you're going to let go, like that. Now, like I said before, the timeline's empty, so we want to add in some more events. So you click once on one person to select them, and then anywhere outside the person to deselect them. If you want to show the properties, you double click, and it brings up the properties for that person. You can drag it around if you want, if you drag on this white section like this. Add a name. Melina. Oops. And then this history tab is going to be where you're going to add more events. So I'm going to add 2 events with the plus button. The dates are set to 1/1, the first year, the year of our Lord. And then you're going to change the year to set the date, change the description to graduated high school. And then let's say month 05, day 10. And then as you set the date, it's automatically going to reorder the events. I should have mentioned first that every person always has a birth event automatically, and this is an event that you can't change. You can set the date, but you can't change the description, or at least you shouldn't be able to. If you can, it's a bug. But you can go in, you can hit edit for this event, and you can go, you know, say appgar7 or something like that. And you can also upload files like birth certificates or something like that by dragging them from Finder onto this window. I don't have any files on this computer at all, funny enough, so I can't do that, but maybe that's for another video. Anyway, so you always get the default birth event, and then you can set the dates for any other events you have. So 2005, we'll say grad school. Now, if I'm going to go out of this, now go back to the diagram and clicking back on the main part of the diagram, the properties drop away. If I go over here to the timeline, click the clock, you're going to see that here's that default now event, which is set to today automatically by the system. It's also automatically added in the events for the other person. And as it does, you can see that when I click on one of these events, it's going to automatically update the date, the global date for the diagram. So the diagram is now showing January 1st, 1980, and it's going to update what the ages for any of the people that it has birth dates for. So here you see a 0 because this person was just born. If I jump to their high school graduation, it's going to automatically make them 18 years old. It also changed the date to May 10th, 1998. So now it's 2005, and the person's 25. And if I jump to today, Yeah, it didn't update, so that's a bug. It should tell you how old they are today. Anyway, so these buttons at the top of the timeline are are used for the global timeline once you have events. So if I'm set on one date like this one and I hit jump to now, all it's basically doing is it's clicking this now event for you. And it just updates the diagram. At least it should. I found another bug. It should update the date of the diagram to 10/29/17. So that's what that's for. The set nodal button is just marks an event as nodal, and what it does is it just makes it yellow. Can't do that for a birthday, apparently. So you can see that graduated high school is a nodal event now because it's yellow, and it's just a visual indicator. It doesn't do anything else. It's a bug that it doesn't set a birth date as a nodal event, so that's something I have to fix. And in the future, you'll be able to delete events from that person using this minus button. It doesn't work right now, so that's another bug. But, right, and then the resize button down here at the bottom brings out the assessment variables, as indicated in another video. So that's it. Good luck with that. Let me know if you have any more questions.